Hey guys, Kelly from paperbeadrollers.com, and I have such a treat for you today. We have a guest on the channel. Sophia Tranoris is going to talk to us about teaching paper beads. She's been doing it for a while now. And if you're interested in becoming a paper bead teacher, earning a little money on the side, doing something that you absolutely love, make sure you check out the link in the description or comments about the Paper Bead Artistry Certified Educator program. While I support you through the entire process. All right, so here you go. I hope you enjoy this chat with Sophia. We talk about some fun stuff like itty bitty bikinis and how old the paper bead necklaces are that she's wearing. You are not going to believe this one. I told you paper beads last a long time. Enjoy the interview, and I'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, this is Kelly from paperbeadrollers.com, and I have a special guest today I am so excited about. We are talking to one of our members of Paper Bead Fanatics, Sophia Tranoris. Hey, Sophia.
Hi.
I'm so glad that you're here. Sophia has impressed me over the last few months. She's been posting some things in Paper Bead Fanatics, and she messaged me and we've been talking. She started teaching paper bead classes in her community. And this was way before I came out with the Paper Bead Artistry Certified Educator program. She did this all on her own without my help. But I wanted to talk to her a little bit about her experience and what she loves about it. So she agreed to come on and talk to me, which I'm very excited about. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's very nice to be speaking with you today.
Yes, and I love actually being able to see you and hear your voice because you guys see me sometimes on video, but I don't get to actually talk to you. So I love talking to you.
Thank you. Me too. I'm a little nervous though.
Don't be nervous. You got this. We're good. Well, tell us about how long have you been doing paper beads and how did you kind of start doing them?
I started doing paper beads in my hippie days about 50 years ago. I don't know where I picked it up because I didn't really have internet, I don't think, back then. But these three necklaces that I'm wearing are actually from that time. They're not as shiny as they used to be, and I don't even remember what I glazed them with, probably the future. But I know that I put them on and I probably glazed them on the fish line because they're kind of wonky on the edges. Yeah. But I liked the colorways. I liked the different colors. And so then I moved on. I went to Greece for the summer way back then. And my aunt taught me to crochet. So I started crocheting little itsy bitsy bikinis and selling those.
Bikinis.
Yeah. Bikinis.
That's awesome.
So I always love to do things with my hands. And I love it when my art is validated.
Yeah.
So I enjoy selling.
Yeah. And those necklaces are gorgeous. And I can't believe you said they're older than me. I'm 51.
Yeah,
they're older than me.
They're older than dirt.
And they're made of paper and they've lasted. And people don't believe me when I tell them I have necklaces that are at least 7 years old, 10 years old that I still wear. And they don't want to believe me, but you are proof.
Oh, yeah. And they're just, if I remember, it's just copy paper, colored copy paper. And they're really strong with the fish line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so glad you wore those today. That's perfect. They're so pretty.
Thank you.
So fast forward into the last few years, why did you decide to start teaching paper beading?
I have a passion for paper beads, and I love sharing my art with others. And what better way than to get a group of people together and just watch them enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
It's always nice to make a little money on the side to buy more supplies or a pair of shoes or anything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And don't you love it when, if they've never done paper beading before and they come to your class and they make the first bead and they just kind of look at their hands like it's magic. They're like,
I was going to say that. I was going to say that's my favorite part of the class, when they make that first bead and they just look at it and they're amazed. And then my next favorite part of the class is when they actually finish something and they say, I made this myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they can, if it's a jewelry piece, they're like, I can, like they made it and they can wear it. And they're that just, yeah.
And it's so neat in the class that everybody has their own choice of colors. And sometimes they move the beads around a little bit to make it their own. So that's real. They're creative. They're being so creative doing that. In fact, there was a lady that came into the gallery, and she comes once a month to our events. And she had to show me that she was wearing a glass beaded bracelet that she made herself. And it had two of my purple paper beads in the center. And she was so proud of it. And I was so happy to see that.
That's amazing.
There's another person, he's a tailor on the street where the gallery is. And he had to come in last month to show me that he used one of my paper beads as a button on a pair of shorts he made.
I've always wanted to do that. That is awesome. I love it.
So I didn't ask him how he was going to wash his shorts or anything like that, but it was a perfect match. It looked beautiful.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other part of that is like they can and here's my big thing, like why I love to get out and teach and why I want other people to get out and teach. Like you can do that alone in your own craft room, right? But it's so different when you're like at a table with other people and you're all making something, and as you're like contemplating the color choices, like they share it with each other in the class. Like they help each other.
Right.
And they interact, and it creates this like this sense of community, or this, like you said, being validated
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for your art. And so it's just so different. It's so different than doing it, on your own, doing with other
Right.
people.
Right. I also volunteer paper bead classes for seniors. Not that I'm not a senior, but people that live in nursing homes that need a little help, a little excitement. And I love doing that also.
That's amazing. Do they like, how do they react to the paper beads? Like, do they think it's pretty amazing too?
Yeah, we've made bracelets, necklaces. We're going to make snowflake ornaments from the wire spokes next month.
Oh, neat.
They can't believe that they actually are creating something unique.
Yeah, and that's all their own. That's
Right.
pretty awesome. So, um, you mentioned making money on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons a lot of people don't start teaching paper beads is because they're nervous about that. Like they don't know what to charge. They don't know. They might not know like where to have a class. What's your experience been with that?
How I got started when I retired 8 years ago and moved to this town was I went around and visited local galleries and different shops and saw where I could bring I was doing a lot of polymer clay jewelry, where I could bring my jewelry to sell, either a space to rent or by commission. And so that's what I started doing. And then I was able to teach classes in those places.
Okay.
Sometimes I wasn't charged. Other times, for let's say a $40 class, I gave $5 from each person to the owner. So that worked out really well.
Okay. Great. So you've been doing this for a while, not just paper beads, but other types of crafting too.
Right. But I like to call it art. I think paper beading is an art, not a
Oh,
craft.
it
And
absolutely is.
right. And so when I sell my pieces in local galleries, I start a little bit high because these are unique, one of a kind, and people just love them. And that's
Yeah.
how I feel. Of course, it all depends where you live. This is how I display my paper bead necklaces on
That's
these
beautiful.
stands.
Oh yeah, and you can get those. You can get them at like Michael's and stuff, but you can also get them, I think, even cheaper on like Amazon or
That
online.
was where I've been getting them.
Amazon.
That's where I get them because I like to have my packages come right away.
Yeah, me too. That's why I decided to start the Paper Bead Artistry Certified Educator program, because so many people are asking for ways to, make money, have side hustles. And a lot of people are trying to sell their jewelry and are struggling with how to price it, what to sell it for. And I thought, I've learned how to make money from this art. And I have built a business where I can kind of extend that success to you guys. And I can say, all right, if you want to go out and spread the love of paper beading and teach it to people, and I can support you in that, because like right now, maybe you're just making money charging for your class. But if you add in the things that you get from the certified educator program, so you get to purchase my paper bead rollers at 50% off and then sell them to your students at full price. So you get to pocket, that money. In between, you also get an affiliate program link. So anything your students purchase, you get 15% of. And that is even like after the class, like there's no expiration on that. So they purchase something a month or 2 months later using your link, you still get, the affiliate commission on it. So I tried to come up with some ways that I could support you guys doing that same class at 2-3 hour class, but making more money from it.
I agree. And I think your bead rollers, which I use in my classes, are a big plus because they're so easy to use. I mean, you get a good grip, they look professional. And after the class, I usually sell a few. They're
Yeah.
right there for the taking.
And you have both the wooden ones and the new pink pearl handle ones, right?
Right, right.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, I love them both. It's hard to say. I just grab either one, to tell you the truth. I love them both. So I'm getting ready. I'm planning now to do another paper bead class soon. And it's really hard. The hardest part about the class is deciding what project to do.
Mm-hmm.
It has to fit into that time space of 2.5 or 3 hours tops. Yep. From start to finish, because people don't have a lot of time. They love taking classes, all kinds of classes, but they don't have a lot of time to hang out. Once it's made, it's, they're out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm just having a hard time deciding what's not too easy, what's not too hard. I'm planning on doing a paper bead class very soon. I'm just having a really hard time deciding what project to create next with my class, because it can't be too hard. It can't be too easy. It has to pique interest. My flyer has to pique interest. And it has to fit into 2.5, 3 hours tops, because people just don't have the time nowadays to spend any more time than that. They have to pick up their kids. They have to run here, run there. So I understand that. And I just want everybody, to have a good time. And so I think why your program will come in handy for me. Even though I do teach classes, I know there's going to be a lot I can learn from you. And maybe, projects that I can incorporate into my classroom.
That's one of the things we're doing in the program is we're creating lesson plans. So I don't know if you know this about me. I mention it sometimes, but I was a corporate trainer for over 20 years.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of
Amazing.
pulling it's cool how it all comes together because I'm pulling
Yes.
in my knowledge of like how to design a class and how to teach. And
Hmm.
then I'm putting that into the certified educator program to teach. I'm going to teach you guys who haven't done it before how to teach paper beads. And then we're also going to have a whole library of lesson plans with new ones that come out every quarter that are tested, that have projects at varying levels for depending
Yeah.
on what kind of students you have for different time frames, if you've only got a 2-hour class or if you've got a 3-hour class. So that's one of the, I think, big benefits for people who've been teaching already, that you kind of get these pre-made lesson plans. And of course you can adjust it any way you want. It's your
Right.
class, but it at least gives you a good starting point. It's going to fit the time frame. And
Hmm.
then you can adjust. And you were telling me before there's some things that you do to help. So you want to share those tips for people?
I usually pre-cut strips because it takes a long time for them to cut strips while they're chatting. But I will also show them a template with how the strips are cut. How the
Yeah.
triangles go this way and that way. So they can do it when they go home. I can send them, I can message them a picture too, they can follow up with me at any time about any questions.
Yeah. And all the lesson plans that I do are going to have templates for strips that you can email to the students or print it and have them
Oh, that's a
take it
great
home.
idea. They can cut ahead of class.
Yeah. Or you can just give it to them for after class in case they want to make more, whatever works for
Sometimes I
you.
do that. Sometimes I'll print out some paper bead strips, and say you can take this home and cut it out and
Yeah.
make your own beads.
What about glazing in class? Because that's a big question when people are teaching that. I've seen it in the Paper Bead Fanatics group.
Well, I like to have them do at least 2 coats of glaze with ideally half an hour to let it dry in between. That's really not enough. So, what I do most times is have them do 1 or 2 coats of glaze, and then I buy those little rectangular dollar store containers with lids, and I just put a very small amount because glaze goes a long way, and they can take home, and then they can even glaze onto their finished necklace carefully so they don't have to take it apart. And that seems to work well.
Oh, that's a great idea.
The AC helps beads dry also.
Yeah, high humidity can be a problem. If it's
Yeah.
humid in the room you're in, your beads they're not going to dry during class. So, yeah, those are all things we cover in the course. Those are all things that like people like Sophia and I have learned the hard way. So we want to share it with you guys. So, Sophia, since you've been doing this for a little while, I'm curious if there's somebody out there watching this who has not started teaching yet, but would really like to start teaching. What kind of advice do you have for them? I would add to that having all of your supplies prepared.
Right. I pack everything the night before and double check it. You don't want to go somewhere, teach a class, and oh, you forgot your glaze or your glaze brushes.
Yeah. And I recommend in the certified educator class, I recommend that they keep like either a box or they get one of those craft organizer bags. And I have
Right.
a whole list. Like, here's all the things that you need to keep in the bag that you'll reuse class after class. And then here's the sort of like consumable stuff that you need to make sure you have each time that could change. And then each lesson plan has all the extra stuff you might need for that particular project. So like it's all laid out right there in a checklist format, and you can just like check your box and check off and make sure you have it all the night before.
I just want to say there's a lot of places that you can teach at. Your local library has rooms that I'm sure would allow a class. Just a lot of places. I'm trying to think right now. Michael's sometimes, I
Yeah.
think.
So here in my town, our community center has classes they give. And if you go to them and pitch a class and they like it, they'll bring you on and then they'll actually pay you a per hour rate for teaching. So you get guaranteed, it doesn't matter how many students, they'll go out and recruit students and take the fees, but they'll just pay you a per hour. So it's like you're guaranteed as long as there's enough students that you'll get a certain amount of money, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. And this way you get a lot of experience too before you go out on your own if you decide to do that.
Yeah, and you get like a reputation because once
Right.
if they take it from you at the community center and then you go out on your own where you get to keep all the registration and maybe can make more money, you've already got students who will follow you. So that's pretty neat. And that's part of in the class. There's a whole module on how to approach places like that. I actually give you templates, email templates, phone
Hmm.
conversation scripts,
Wow.
because you have to, it's like you can't just show up with your paper bead roll and be like, hey, let me teach. You kind of have
Wow.
to convince them that it's a good idea. So I have a whole module in the Certified Educator program and scripts that you can use to approach those kinds of people.
Very nice. Yeah. Once you start looking, there doors open and there's really lots of places that you can teach. Exactly.
Listen, I hope everybody watching this who is thinking about maybe starting their own paper bead classes, I hope this encouraged you because I'll tell you what, if I can do it and Sophia can do it, you can do it too. Right? I
Ex-
mean, and yeah, anybody can do this and make a little money and share this fun art that we all love. And I would love to see, so paper beading is like one of the smallest little niches in the crafting industry. And I would love to see it grow and have us share this art with so many people and bring them in to share just the joy we get out of it.
That's right. And it is growing. And if you love what you do, you can't go wrong.
So, Sophia, if anybody wants to follow your work and see what you're doing, where can they find you online?
Well, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And all you have to do is type in my name, Sophia Tranoris, and it'll take you to either of those two places.
Awesome. I can put the links in the description of the video too, so they can just click.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm also in downtown Fort Pierce at Cool Beans Brew on Delaware Avenue, at 2nd Street Art on 2nd Street downtown. And now I'm at the Peacock House Foundation, which is a nonprofit art gallery and home where peacocks live, and also in
Oh,
downtown Fort Pierce.
that sounds like a cool place.
That's an amazing place. They do tours and it's just beautiful. They have great events there too.
Well, I'll
I'm
have to
so
come.
happy, so lucky to be living in an artsy little town. Like,
Oh, yeah. That
yeah,
makes a huge difference.
being by myself, it was the best thing that happened to me.
That's great.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, Sophia. Well, we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much. Good luck with your next class.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.